Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today, Jackson and I are out. How you, Jackson?
Good, about yourself?
All right. We're putting in a strip graze paddock here for the bulls, and the weekend is coming on. This is Friday, and so we'd like to get our paddocks put in on Friday. So all we have to do is roll a wire up, so we don't have to spend a lot of time at it. We got other things we like to do, and that's part of running a farm or a ranch. You need a little diversity in your life, otherwise you get burned out. But Jackson, you want to show exactly the setup on this foiler? What's this reel hanging on right here?
All right, so we have this bracket mounted on this front basket here on front of the four-wheeler, and
What are you turning there?
this is a little friction clasp here that allows this to slide in. So this is its normal position, so we're not snagging, we're driving through brush.
Yep.
Riding around.
So when you get ready to unroll,
yep, we loosen this, bring out this arm, retention. We'll store our reels up here in the basket. We can usually keep up to 4 or 5, maybe even more reels there. Place the handle in this pipe here, and then we'll untie the reel, loosen it, and then this has enough offset that the reel can spin and not be impeded by the handle.
That's a big deal.
It's huge. I've made that mistake. You fix it fast. And from there, it also has enough offset that your poly won't be getting snagged.
Yep.
In your tire, your fender, unless you make a sharp turn. You just have to judge that. And then from there, it allows you to pull posts and throw them on the ground.
Okay.
Followed by someone coming along with the wire, stepping in.
Yep.
And hook it on the post.
Perfect. Well, Jackson, if you want to take that off there a minute, what do we do? What can you do when you have pigtails up there like that with that wire? If you are making turns, and you're concerned about your wire going under the foiler, you've seen this. There you go.
We can loop through. Let's see. Yeah, there. Loop through the pigtail there.
Yep. So that keeps it from going through your wheel and getting wrapped around. So your reel is actually, it's kind of like a fishing line. It's a guide on a fishing pole. So if you're making bins and stuff, just put a pigtail. Now these holders back here, I put these on years ago. I've got these on our four-wheelers, the ones we use, and they're really handy for sticking pigtails in. If you want to put a reel back here, that's originally what they were for, was to put a reel in. But we graduated to putting a reel up there on the front because you're driving and you can see it if your wire gets untangled quickly. Or back here, you may not see it and you have a real mess before you realize you've got a mess. I wanted to show people this little deal right here. So when Jackson and I started a while ago, we had a big old pile of posts here. And so we just pull off enough to make our run. We've already put out probably 20 clear back to the highway there. And we've only got to go, and we've got 2 more hills to go here. But Jackson, I wanted you to get on the four-wheeler.
Yes, sir.
And you go ahead and start it up and just kind of show people. First of all, it looks like you're in low gear, so you're not going real fast.
Yes, sir.
You got it in low side. And why are you sitting on there sideways for?
Mounted side saddle here, so it's easier for you to access the post as opposed to reaching clear behind you. That's too clunky.
Yep.
We want to try and streamline as much as possible, otherwise it's pretty easy to get yourself caught up in wire and post falling.
Yep. So sitting on there sideways, not only do you have a better view left and behind you as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're not twisting your neck. All right, well, I'm gonna have you go ahead and take off here.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna give you this post. We don't need this one right here. There you go. And show people how you throw. Let's just do a couple,
Yes, sir.
and we'll kind of go from there.
Excellent. Started.
Okay, that's good. So you all get the idea. He just rides on here side saddle, and he's throwing posts out, and I should have been doing Jackson's job, sticking the post in and putting the wire on. I'm gonna have him go back and catch up, and I'll get on there, and we'll get this thing finished up. But folks, if you load that backpack up right there, that luggage rack, you can get about 120 posts on there. And by doing that, you can put in a lot of paddocks. I don't normally like to put on more than 4 or 5 reels here on the front. They hang around the edge of this. But you got to remember, those reels with the poly braid on there, they weigh at least 10 pounds, maybe 12. And so if you put, let's say 5 on there, that's a 50-pound, well, if ever 12, that's 60 pounds of weight you've got up here on this luggage rack. And folks, you got to remember, this is not a tractor. Everybody forgets about that, and they put too much weight on them and end up breaking the welds. You'll break the welds on your luggage rack, and now you've got to take it into the shop and have it re-welded, and it's never the same. I mean, they can't get it welded like it was from the factory. So don't break your luggage rack. You know, my limit is about 60 pounds of weight, because if you hit a hole and you're going, 15, 20 mile an hour, you're going to put a lot of stress on your welds. And that's another thing, when you're going around your farm, whether you're pulling that baling mower we have, or if you're just driving around the farm, don't be going, you don't need to be going over 10 to 50 mile an hour. That's it. Because this grass is tall and you hit a hole, you hear people getting hurt every year on these things. They're dangerous. And usually when you get hurt on one is when you're not paying attention and you drive off in a hole, you don't see a hole. I had a terrible accident by myself. I haven't ever told anybody this. Not on YouTube. I think I've said it to the interns a few times, but I was by myself. I'd taken off work. That's when I worked in town. I was building high tensile wire by myself. And I was going down through some brush, and it was cleared, but it wasn't cleared the best. And there was an old stump down there about 6-8 inches tall. And folks, I was on a hill like this. And I hit that stump with this tire right over here. And I was sitting on the four-wheeler like you ride it, and it threw that four-wheeler up in the air on its side like that, and it pinned me against I only had one up. I was building a 4-strand high tensile fence. I only had 1 strand up. And that four-wheeler pinned me against that high tensile wire. My leg, 750-pound four-wheeler, was against that wire, and I could not get out. And I could feel the circulation being cut off on my leg. And I'm like, Greg, you're going to lose your leg. I mean, it was a very, very scary moment. And luckily, I had the side cutters in my left, over here on my left pocket, okay? And so I'm sitting on the four-wheeler. I had to reach around with my right hand. I knew if I dropped those pliers coming out of my pocket, pretty good chance that I was not going to save my leg. Anyway, I had high incentive not to let loose of them. And I got them around, and that wire was taut. I cut it. When I cut it, the four-wheeler came after me. And I rolled backwards out of the way, and luckily it didn't roll over on top of me. But folks, that happened on a summer day. 70 degrees out. I was just having a great time building fence by myself. That's how quickly it can happen. And I was just lucky that I had side cutters in my pocket. So I guess another rule of thumb is maybe have somebody with you. Or at least have somebody when you're building fence out on the farm, because you can get hurt pretty quick on these things. They're a great tool, but learn to respect them, because they're heavy, they're powerful, and they can hurt you. Sorry about that rant on that tail, but I just want to let people know they are dangerous. So y'all have a good one. And Jackson, thanks for helping me on this video. And you have a good weekend with your parents.
Yes, sir. Yeah, enjoyed having my folks here.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. It was an awful nice meeting them last night. So anyway, y'all have a good one, and we'll see y'all next time.